Welcome to AM Quincy. We're here to chat about the Early College High School program that is coming up this fall, a great partnership between the Quincy Public Schools and Quincy College for certain high school students to kind of kick their college careers off early while they're still in high school. So we want to welcome the principal of Quincy High School, Larry Taglieri, is here as well. Social studies teacher Chris Benson is joining us. Christopher, sorry Chris, from Quincy High School as well. And also, Megan, I'm going to get it right, the Associate Vice President of Student Services and Partnerships for Quincy College.
Thank you.
Megan Cassidy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. The actually, Larry, the mayor talked about this particular program way back at the beginning of the year during his midterm address, and said, you know, State Street Foundation has been so generous to be able to put this program together. Early College High School, the only one on the South Shore, actually, Quincy Public Schools and partnership with Quincy College. What's that all about?
Well, just so you kind of outlined a little bit the partnership between Quincy College, Quincy High School, and bringing in that State Street, because State Street's a very big part of this occurring for our students. What it gives is our students an opportunity to garner college credits while in high school and really get a jump start on it. So what we're trying to do is this is building upon pathways that we've already had with Quincy College. So it's really like an expansion of our partnership, not like the start of a partnership for us, because we've had dual enrollment programs. We have pathways that currently ran with Quincy College where our students get credit, receive credit for college. But this will now get another population of students the opportunity to get college credits while taking classes at Quincy High School within their class schedule. The end goal, I think, is to try to have our students understand that they do have the option to go to school. And that's everything that it's about for Quincy Public Schools, for us. For when our kids graduate, we're looking for them to have options. You know, so our kids do the most remarkable things across the board, go to the best colleges across the country. They go right into terrific careers right out of Quincy High School. And this just keeps another option open for our students. And to get a jump, and I should note, it's with the support of State Street Foundation, the credits are free of charge for our students in Quincy. So the program is at Quincy High School. It's also at North Quincy High School as well.
Yeah, and what you said something key too. It's for students who might not normally consider continuing their education. So that's a little different than, say, the dual enrollment or the career pathways programs, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So really kind of targeting those kind of families that really didn't think that college would be an option, and really it's a very supported program. We're going to have a dedicated early college high school guidance counselor at our school to work with this population, and there's also a liaison with the a college advisor from Quincy College that will work with the students as well. So that's everything from how their credits will accumulate, what it could lead to how to apply for school, and really a lot of the things that our guidance counselors at North and Quincy High School do with our students as well.
Anyway,
but very focused with this group of students.
Sure. Let's talk a little bit about this group of students who is eligible for early college high school. How do you identify them, and how do they enroll in the program?
Well, at the end of this year, we had parent academies, and we went into some classrooms and talked to the students about the opportunities that are available to them. Anyone was able to apply, but the program might not fit every student. So as we go through the application process, I do think it's those students that you were talking about earlier, Joe, those students that have not had college on the radar, first generation, high needs students would probably go to the front of that list of the population that would want to impact the most.
Okay, so how is that determined, though, based on the applications? You know, how do you kind of, because there's a limited space, right? For there's only, I think, what, 100 students for the first year or so?
Right now, we've attributed space for roughly 125 at each school.
Okay, all right. Okay.
At each school. And I think the goal would be, as we go along, if the need demands it, then we would offer more classes.
Sure.
Would offer more classes.
Okay.
That information that you're asking, like how do you get that?
Yeah.
Well, it's from our internal pieces of knowing our kids, for one, really getting to know our kids at Quincy High School, and two, some other some other criteria that may come up that would identify them as high needs, maybe from some of our families' socioeconomic backgrounds
Okay.
that would not be able to access school
Yep.
and be in a position, really give them that opportunity.
Okay, and that really is part of the grant from State Street, right?
It is.
Is to target specifically that population.
right.
Folks with disabilities, perhaps, be part of that as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So again, just opening up
Our
pathways and opportunities.
Right, our
Yeah.
English language learners
Oh,
would
okay.
be a very targeted
Sure.
one. And some of our students with disabilities,
Yes.
like you said.
Yeah. Folks, how many students have enrolled so far, and how much space is available?
Well, I can speak to
For Quincy
High
High, yeah.
School. We're probably about 80
Oh, all right.
students right now
Okay.
enrolled, and we're still working it right now as
Okay.
we speak. You know, so we still have families reaching out. We're making contact with families.
Okay.
So it wasn't solidified until the end of the year.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we were able to have those parent academies and those information type sessions, but the word's definitely spreading, and there's a lot of excitement about it.
Is there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, is it just seniors, high school seniors?
So the program overall will start with the students in their sophomore year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It starts in their sophomore year, and they take 2 classes, and the same at Quincy and at North Quincy.
Okay.
So for us, actually, Mr. Benson will teach one of the social studies classes in grade 10,
Okay.
is criminal justice, which is aligned. All these courses need to be aligned with the courses that are up at Quincy College. So there's a good coupling between our staff and the staff
Yeah.
at Quincy College.
Yes.
So grade 10, the students take criminal justice and music across cultures. Very nice, 2 good courses.
Yeah.
And they're semester-based courses, which really gives that simulation of that's what college is.
Yeah.
College courses
right.
are taken on a semester basis.
So true, yeah.
So a group of students would have Mr. Benson, and maybe 25 students would have Mr. Benson for the first semester, and someone else would have Ms. Compatello, who's teaching music across cultures
Okay.
for the first semester, and then they'd switch for the second semester.
all right.
So it's good because it stays within one period of a student's schedule,
Yeah, so
which
it's
is very
really
ideal. It
seamless,
doesn't,
yeah.
and it still leaves all those other options open that are available for the students at the school,
Mm-hmm.
whether that be the CVTE programs that we offer at Quincy and at North.
CBT, for folks who don't know.
Technical majors,
Okay.
the technical majors. So you could still take electrical, you
Oh,
could still
okay.
take plumbing, fashion design. I could name all 15 of them,
okay.
you know, but they're
Don't
just
forget culinary arts.
great options
Yeah.
for our students.
So it's just in addition to, it's not in place of.
Well, those grade 10 courses would be considered electives.
Okay.
Because they still have other general requirements that they have to achieve to graduate from Quincy High
Gotcha.
School.
Okay.
But these would be electives, and students have to take electives.
Yep.
But when you do go into grade 11, you have the opportunity to take 2 more classes.
Yep.
You take another social studies class. One would be U.S. history, too. And that's a requirement for us.
Okay.
But we're able to make that syllabus, that curriculum match. So you kind of get both.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other one would be a science class that will count as a science credit.
Okay.
And then, so those are the 2. This year, we're having just English for grade 12, and next year we'll have English and math.
Okay.
So really, when you add all of that up, students will end up getting 18. The science actually counts as an extra credit because it's a lab-based course.
I see.
19 credits towards their degree.
Yeah, and that's a good place to bring you in, Megan, and talk a little bit about how Quincy College is preparing to accept these students who will be in the early college high school program.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
thank you, and thank you again to Principal Taglieri. We're really excited about this opportunity, and so the students who will be participating in this cohort-based program are students who we really envision being familiarized already with the Quincy College resources, campus, support system, starting in grade 10 when they enter into that program. Now, we do realize that in this first iteration of the program, there will be students starting in grade 11 and grade 12, and we'll still be connecting with them this year. But as we welcome the early college high school students into the Quincy College community, really even before they graduate from high school, the hope and really the focus is that these students really start to envision themselves as a college student.
Yeah.
Now, of course, with the early college high school guidance counselor and the early college high school transition coach who will be supporting these students throughout their time, in the program, we really, hope that they see Quincy College as, that next step for them towards their academic, their career goals, and really their future success.
It's up to them, right?
Exactly.
It's their choice. Yeah, they don't have to.
Right,
Okay.
right.
But they're really set up perfectly too, if they want to
continue on.
Yeah.
And as Principal Taglieri said, those 19 to hopefully, starting the following year, 22 credits that they will be earning through this program would go right towards their degree at Quincy College. So these students are already starting, with almost a full year of college requirements under their belt, familiar with the support, and, really on that pathway to complete their associate's degree, and then in a lot of cases as well to their 4-year degree through the college's different articulation agreements and other partnerships that we have with schools.
Other schools, right? Yeah. Would they actually be able to graduate early, say, if they were to meet all the requirements before the rest of the student body?
In terms of when they enter into Quincy College? Absolutely.
Really?
And so what we
Okay.
would be doing is we would, or we really envision having our academic advising and other support services at the college work with these students, especially when they do matriculate to Quincy College, to say, okay, based off of what you've completed now through this early college high school program, how can we keep this motivation? How can we keep this success going?
Right.
And so, there's opportunities for them to complete summer courses, winter classes, and then continue with the regular schedule as well. And so we would envision that a student participating in this program and then matriculating to Quincy College would earn their associate's degree in a relatively short period of time based off of the credits that they've already accumulated.
Sure. And would it also open up different opportunities at Quincy College that they might not normally, be able, have time to or be able to access because they've already completed, that much of a requirement already?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think just in terms of college readiness overall, so entering the college space as a new student, as a lot of folks know, it takes usually a good at least 6 to 12 months for a student to get fully acclimated to the expectations of an instructor, of a college schedule, as the principal was saying, what it's like to take a semester-long class versus a year-long class. And so we would anticipate that these students would be able to participate in other parts of the college experience, whether it be student clubs and organizations, student life, working
perhaps.
part-time, athletics, exactly. And so not only would we foresee these students as being successful, but also really contributors to the community.
Yeah. So, Chris, this is where we bring you in because you really are a key integral part, and folks in your position, to the success of early college high school, because you're actually teaching these kids. How do you teach college level courses to high school students?
So that's obviously probably my biggest task and something I've been working all summer. I've been having a lot of conversations with my counterpart at Quincy College, Professor Jason Painich. He also teaches the criminal justice. So we've been aligning pretty much the Quincy High model of schedule and the techniques I use in the classroom already to his syllabus. And we've been working back and forth to see things that might work for a 10th grader. Sophomores are going to be different than your college students.
Right.
But really, how do we get that material and implement it in a way that will work for them?
Right. Yeah. So you really had to rethink your whole lesson plan. I bet you it's been a learning experience for you too.
Definitely, it's been a great opportunity.
Yeah, as they say, educators learn the most when they teach.
Exactly.
So, what are the challenges, do you think, to putting this together?
So the biggest challenges so far, the textbooks are definitely a high level. So it'll be working with the students to be able to kind of get what we need them to get to earn passing scores and hit our learning outcomes, and then realigning the calendar between the college, the high school, and the high school students are going to be more interested in hands-on case studies as opposed to some of the other activities. So really kind of aligning it towards their interest and abilities.
Sure. And how will you kind of know if you succeeded? How will you gauge their achievements?
Yeah, so we have the learning outcomes and expectations for each of the individual chapters and each topic. So we'll almost
Tests? They're actually tests? Okay.
Yeah, so they'll be able to see benchmarks as they go through.
Okay.
And then, of course, really the ultimate is passing the the class and receiving the credit.
Right. And you're not just, I mean, they're going to be supported all the way, right? You're not just throwing them in here and, do or don't do.
No, not at all. So in addition to me, they'll have some other supports, which Mr. Taglieri can probably speak a little bit, right?
So in addition, the students will have what we'd call a supported study.
Okay.
A college study. But so that will be manned, supervised by an early college high school teacher. It may be Chris with his particular kids.
Right.
Chris may have one of these classes with some upper level kids, but it's all connected. But the real linchpin in there is the early college guidance counselor that I have on staff.
Yes.
That's dedicated to this.
Also funded by the State Street Grant, right?
Also funded
Yeah.
by the State Street Grant,
Yeah.
right. So that person will be involved in those blocks. So every student will take their course, which would fill one period of the day.
Okay.
Right? Chris for his half, and then someone for the music across cultures. That's period 2.
Okay.
And maybe period 4, they have that study block.
Okay.
And that will be, and I think something that Megan said that needs to be clear, it is cohort based. So those students,
They're all together all the time.
right. The only students that are going to be in that criminal justice course with Mr. Benson are kids that are in the early college high school program.
Right. Yep.
The only students that will be in that support block will only be those early college high school
So they're
students.
going to develop strong relationships both
Yes.
with themselves and with their instructors
Yep.
throughout this program. Yeah.
I do, I think so.
And that's key, yeah. Will they graduate high school in a traditional high school graduation, Larry?
Yeah, they're going to graduate just on time as they normally
Okay.
would. It's just
Okay.
that in addition to earning their diploma, they're going to walk out with credits towards the future. And I think when you look at the courses that we're offering and something that we really put a lot of thought into, they're all of the general ed variety when you go to college.
Okay.
So they're not really pigeonholing themselves into one spot.
I'm going to be a
Whatever
a
you're going to be,
biochemist, and that's it. Yeah.
Either way, you're going to have to take an arts course when you go to
Okay,
college.
all
Whether
right.
you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher,
Yeah.
you're going to have to take a social studies, a humanities course.
Okay. So it is a
before you get
well-rounded-
into your major.
Yes. Yeah. So it is well-rounded.
Right.
You're not setting you on a path that you can't get out of.
That's right.
Basically. Yeah. So and that's key, right? How is early college high school? Maybe Megan, you can answer this. Different from the dual enrollment program with the Quincy Public School System.
Yeah, absolutely. And so just jumping back to the point of earning college credit, I do think that's important to note, because by earning those general education credits, the students, through early college at least, are able to start in their program of study a lot sooner than maybe a student who would be traditionally entering college. And so just wanted to make that connection, because it's another, I think, opportunity for these students.
Well, it really forces them to grow up pretty quick, right?
Exactly, exactly, yep.
You're asked to name a major, by the end of your freshman year in college, typically. So these kids are going to be way ahead of that curve.
Absolutely,
Yeah, okay.
absolutely. And how the early college program really, I think, differentiates itself from dual enrollment
Yeah.
or the career vocational pathways that Principal Taglieri was talking about is that both dual enrollment and the pathway programs, I think, are really what have reinforced the strong partnership that does already exist between Quincy Public Schools and Quincy College.
Sure.
And when we began working on the early college program development, there's really 5 guiding principles that make up this program. And one of those key principles is effective and strong partnerships. And so I think what's been so reassuring throughout this process is that we have been able to rely on these existing partnerships and pathways that already exist. The dual enrollment program is the one that has been in existence the longest between the high school and the high schools and the college. Those courses are really intended for students who are currently already in honors level courses,
Okay, all right.
who really, for the most part, probably have college on their mind, or they've been working with maybe an advisor or someone on the side to kind of talk about what those plans are.
Yep.
And that's a way for them to earn college credit while they are still in high school at these more advanced level courses.
Gotcha. Okay.
The career vocational and technical education pathway programs are a way for students to earn credit at Quincy College when they complete that career vocational program at the high school. So again, these students are students who have said during their time in high school, I know early education and care, or I know legal and protective services is the direction that I want to go. So a
Okay.
lot of these students maybe already have their minds made up, so to
Yes,
speak, in terms
yes.
of what those interests
Yeah.
are. The early college program, not only does it cater to students who might not have an idea yet of
Yep.
what pathway they're going, but they are also not necessarily enrolled in those more college prep type courses or those honors courses.
Okay.
And so, you know, as we were discussing, it's really intended for those students who may not be considering college as a grade 10, 11, or 12 student.
Okay, so Chris, as an instructor then, you'll have to kind of tailor your curriculum to that student, right?
Yeah, it's a delicate balance
Yeah.
of keeping it rigorous, but also meeting each student's needs.
You don't
and
want to
keeping
lose them or turn them
engaged.
off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that going to be training for you? I mean, are you kind of relearning some skills or accessing some new skills to do that?
Definitely refining.
Sure.
It's something we do, and it's always a big
Continuing
part
education,
of
right? Yeah.
education.
Yeah.
But for this, especially myself, as one of the entry courses for 10th grade,
Yeah.
I think it's imperative that I keep them engaged and get them excited and build up the confidence to keep going in the program.
I would think it's going to be very rewarding in your career to see this through, especially with the first round of students in this brand new program.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something I look forward to.
Sure. And Larry, no cost for the kids, right?
No cost.
No cost at
No,
all. Yeah.
again, a big thank you to the State Street Foundation
Yeah.
for that.
That's incredible. It's a 3-year grant. What happens after that? What happens after
We
that?
hope they resign for another 3 years.
Okay.
I think they're going to be very impressed. State Street, certainly with this program,
Yeah.
but they've been a partner for Quincy Public Schools in addition to this program. They've been just such a strong local business partner for us.
They were one of the first, I think,
Yeah.
school business partners to join onto that actual school business partnership, which we here at QATV are as
Yes,
well.
you are.
I'm proud to be. Yeah, absolutely. For folks who want to learn more about early college, high school through the Quincy Public Schools, what's a good way for them to do that?
Well, hey, our easiest way always is we're always open, so you can always call.
Okay.
You can always call. If I was going to give someone that would be directly involved, it would be that early college guidance counselor that we have now for Quincy High School. It would be Tim Liuzzo, and
Okay.
maybe we can put up a screen with his email or
Absolutely.
something. And for North Quincy, it is Jenny
Yep,
Cushman.
Jenny Cushman.
Yeah,
Okay.
Virginia. But
Yeah.
you have to put that on the email
Yep.
the right way. But
Yeah.
Absolutely.
again,
Yep.
whenever in doubt, you dial the main number at either of our schools,
Okay.
and someone will definitely talk with you.
Okay, sure. And time is of the essence, right? First day of school, September 8th. So sooner the better to find out about early college, high school, and maybe enroll, right?
Yes, still time to enroll.
Okay, all right. Anything else anybody like to add about the program?
No, I just can't thank you enough, Joe, for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Having us here and letting us share this with the community. Because, like I said, it was at the end of the year. It was a long time building. We worked on it since September, October of last year.
Right.
But really, to have everything buttoned up and to get the designation, it didn't happen until the end.
Right.
So it's just great to get the word out there. It's something that Quincy can really be proud of.
Yeah. We should mention it's approved by the state. I mean,
That's right.
So I mean, it
That's-
has the official seal. It's done. It's a recognized program.
Absolutely, yeah. We are, as Principal Tagliari said, very grateful to both State Street Foundation and to the work that we've been doing with the state to receive the accelerated
Right.
early college state designation. And we'll be continuing to certainly share more information with the community, but just really appreciate the opportunity to share it today.
Yeah. Thanks for coming over. Really appreciate it. Nice to see you all, and enjoy the rest of your summer.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. I'm Joe Catalano. For all of us here at Quincy Access Television, have a great day.